my first 15 years trying to get out of the woods because I thought it was horrible. And I spent the next 20 years trying to get back. The truth of the matter is we need to be well-rounded individuals like our forefathers were.
Voila! Welcome to Mountain Readiness Monday, coming at you live here from Appalachia. It is a very cold Appalachia, by the way. Howdy, everyone over there in the live land. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Give us the thumbs up. Little hearts, click the buttons, all that kind of stuff. We've got Guy, we've got Patrick 7, we've got some new people. We got Joey. Joey's over there. Will, what's going on? Burke Spring. Guys, thanks for joining us tonight. It's appreciated. I'm going to clear my screen here. Let's see. They give all these buttons. Hide vertical. There it is. There it is. Now I can see more of the screen in front of me. All this technology. How are you guys doing? You guys warm, cold? Where are you coming from in the world? How is all my Florida people over there? You guys chilly down in that neck of the woods? Janet, how you doing? Hello to you as well. This is going to be a cool show, as always. We always enjoy our guests tonight. We have good conversations. It's always a good time. Two hillbillies getting together, running their sucks. It's going to be awesome. If you have a question for tonight's guest, let's do hashtag MagMick. There we go, for questions. And I know we're going to be doing a giveaway tonight. I have no idea what we're going to give away, how many times we're going to give it away. It'll be during this live. And let's do, what do we want to do? Russ, what are we going to do for giveaways tonight? Let's see what Russ says. And big thanks to the Russ of Oz back there behind the curtain, pushing the buttons and pulling the levers so that I don't have to do it. We'll think of something. We'll think of something here soon. I'll ask our guest what he wants it to be. But tonight's episode is brought to you by, let's do Cell Saviors. That's right. Cell Saviors, that good old fulvic humic acid. If you would, Russ, throw the Cell Saviors up there. Guys, scan that, get you some discount, get you that stuff. Health is important. That's your number one prep right there. If you ain't healthy, then all that cool gear don't mean nothing. It's just dead weight. What else we got? Mountain Readiness May coming up. Can't wait. The tickets, get them tickets while you can. We added some more awesome instructors. Actually, I got to add her today. Jax Janega, Wildcard Wilderness, will be back this May with us again, teaching all kinds of cool stuff. We've got Gorilla Medical. Check them out. They are a subsidiary of Gorilla Ammo. If you have not seen them yet, they do a phenomenal slam-up job. They've got to be putting on some awesome classes, 3 different classes, all 3 days. They've got the bleeding dummy and all that kind of stuff that you can practice on. It's going to be a good time. And who else did we have on there? I don't know. Check it out. Get on there on Mountain Readiness and go to the May event. We added more people, and we ain't done yet. So Mountain Readiness West in Montana. We've added a few more people to that. Of course, that's hosted by Joe Dolio. 80 acres, guys. 80 acres up there. Yeah, that'll work, Russ. Let's do hashtag freezing. Hashtag freezing for the giveaway tonight. And then if we do 2, we'll do hashtag frostbite for the next one. Perfect. So Mountain Readiness West, get your tickets for that too. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be processing elk, eating elk and moose and chicken, and we've got live bands, all kinds of awesome training. We've got some paid classes before and after that's going to be going on there. And of course, it's 1 hour from Glacier National Park. It's going to be awesome. If you can make it, you want to make this one. It's just, I mean, just the facility alone, and then being able to go up to Glacier National Park. I'm stoked. I'm excited about this one here. And then, of course, as far as health is concerned, guys, what I said before, it's about your health. You got to be healthy if you want to make it through the hard times. The Sovereign Health Summit, October the 27th through the 31st. We're going to have a ton of people there. We have got big things happening. Of course, we've already got Barbara O'Neill. We've got Jonathan Otto. We've got Doc Lee Merritt. We've got Dr. Tenpenny. We've got A.J. Richards from the farm. He's going to be there. We're talking everything from soil to soul. We're talking food sovereignty, health. We're talking medical sovereignty, medical freedom, all the stuff that the mainstream doesn't want you to know about. That's what we're going to be teaching, and it's going to be 5 straight days. Going to be awesome. Angry American's going to be there. The Russ of Oz is going to be there. Franklin's going to be there. We got a whole group is going to be there, along with tons of others that are in the circadian and alternative health world. So, and the vendors are going to be off the hook as well. Who all we got? We got everything from Micronic Silver to EMP Shield that's going to be at this place, guys. So just vendors alone is going to be a blast. Evening, Mr. Andrew Degenhart. Good to see you. You probably having flashbacks of that class with Alan Kay, with the weather we've got going on right now. My man, Matt King. What's going on, man? Loki's dog mom. Man, we've got a full house. Love seeing everybody out there. So I think I've run my suck long enough about upcoming events. I don't think we have anything else going on. Tonight's guest is a author of like 30 or 40 different books. He's been in the prepper world forever. He's done anything and everything from being a contractor and a carpenter to a English teacher to I think a delivery driver. I think a delivery driver is one of those things too. We got to talk about that. I want to know about this delivery driver thing. But without further ado, let's bring on our guest, the one and only Mr. Franklin Horton.
Man, I was enjoying sitting here listening to all the things that you have going on and all the people that are going to be at these shows. I was just sitting here taking it all in.
That's good. That's good. And we were even talking earlier, like no one can pimp a podcast like Franklin Horton, like the way you recline, the whole bit. We were talking about you're like the pimp of podcast right here. So in the recline position, you just need to hold your hand out with the steering wheel.
Well, you know, we were talking earlier about getting some green screen background, so maybe that's what my green screen background will be.
That's it. We've got to do that. Let me know when that happens. I want to check this out. So how has things been, Franklin? It's been a minute. The last time we chatted was there last fall, so a few months back. Yep. What's been happening in the world of Franklin Horton?
Well, I don't know. Fall is always a busy time. You know, that's when it seems like everything happens. And, man, fall is just a blur until we get up to, you know, Christmas, and then it's hibernation season. And it's definitely hibernation season now because, you know, we're in the same neck of the woods, and it is cold where I'm at, cold where you're at. And, you know, cold sucks.
It sucks. It sucks bad. What are you running temperature wise out there?
I think right now we've got 5 degrees with a wind chill of like 20 below, something like that.
Yeah. You know, I don't know about you, but it gets harder and harder for me to maintain any motivation in February. Right there when I get into February, the month of February for the year is the worst for me. Like I just want to hibernate and check, sit by the fire, stare at the fire. that's where I'm at currently right now. I had to go outside, but I can't just completely, I just can't completely close myself off all day long because I've got all the animals and plowing the driveway. And, that was on the list today, plowing out. I think we got 2 inches of like powdery ice, I believe is what it was. And, yeah, it sucked. But now I'm back inside, but the fire right in the next room. But I don't know. I imagine you're the same way. Just want to kind of stay inside and just soak up the heat.
Well, you were talking about my background, and I started in carpentry and construction 30 years ago in Detroit. So I was working in construction outside throughout the winter. And there was one February where we hit Detroit's record low for that day, which was a wind chill of 56 below zero. And I feel like I paid my dues working outside. These days, it just doesn't hold the same allure,
Mm-hmm. And we got old Mr. Big Pete Robertucci there. I appreciate that, Pete, from one sexy icon to another.
He doesn't have his glasses on, obviously.
That's what it is. No, I beg to differ, man. We're like, I think you've got that Sean Connery thing going on.
Oh,
Franklin,
definitely.
really.
Yeah. The Scottish accent, the hillbilly accent, they're, interchangeable.
Shaken, not stirred. Yeah. I think I see it. I'm calling it good. What are we going to give away tonight, Franklin? What have we decided on?
I've got 3 items here. I have got. Oh yeah. Snap. I have got a Locker 9 hat. I have got one of my new man cave signs. So throw this one in a envelope and send it to you. And then this is one of my favorite. These are the door hangers that I sell. This one, well, you can't see it well in this bag, but it's got a Mad Mick logo on it, and it says, "Feck off." So you hang this on your door, and it drives away anybody who's going to come bother you.
I mean, yeah, that's perfect.
Everybody needs one of those.
Everyone that travels needs one of those. Even not. Maybe I need one of those for Amber here at the house.
Yeah, there are times at home, Yeah, so 3 items. Got 3 items for you.
So we got 3 items. Are we going to do 3 separate, or are we going to do the hat as one, or do we want to do all 3?
However you want to do it. I'm good with doing all 3, doing the 3 separate. That way you spread the love.
All right. So, and as they asked up here, Mountain Readiness, how do we enter? All you got to do is put in #freezing. #freezing, and then the Russ of Oz back there behind the scenes is going to do his magic. I guess 3 times. Is that a problem, Russ? Can we do it 3 times? Give me the thumbs up. He give me the thumbs up. So we're going to do all 3. 3 people are going to win tonight. So we'll do it in increments. We're going to do the first drawing at 30 minutes in. 30 minutes in, we're going to do the first one. And we're going to let Franklin pick which item we're giving away first. You got a new book coming out.
Hopefully the beginning of March. Some authors, they can tell you a year in advance what day a book's going to come out. But I don't do it that way because I like to get the audio out on the same day because I've got so many people that read my books through audio. And they get bummed out if the paperback or the ebook comes out first. So I want to be able to do it all on the same day. So I wait till I'm a little closer and I can get everything lined up. And I got Kevin Pierce doing his thing, and I got the paperback people doing their thing. So hopefully, that first week of March, sometime around then, all formats of Mad Mick 12 are going to be out.
Very cool. And there it is.
Collateral Savage.
Yes. Damn, I like that. That just has a ring to it.
It does have a ring to it, doesn't it?
That's great. You should probably go ahead and get some shirts ready for that, just with that phrase alone. Don't
Well,
you
you
think?
know,
Collateral savage.
I'm an absolute hoe for the shirts. You know, if I can put it on a shirt, then by the end of the day, it's on a shirt, a sweatshirt, a hoodie, a hat. You know, all those things.
Oh yeah, man. There, you can never have enough shirts. I've got tons. I bet you I could wear a different shirt every single day for a year. I bet you there's 300 and there 300 or 400 shirts in the closet in there. It's sad. Like
That's a good problem to have.
It is the prepper side of things. Like I will never have to worry about clothes unless I get really, really fat. And then that's kind of defeating the whole purpose.
Then you can sew two of them together and you're still set up.
One arm. Exactly. Yeah. And then I still can have shirts for half of a year, you know, changing out at that point. So it works out good. So, yeah, guys, hashtag freezing, put you in. And then at 30 minutes in, we'll draw the first one and then we'll do it again. Hashtag freezing, put you in it again. We just keep on going till we get all three. What did I just see? I seen somebody out here asked if the Audible for, yeah, that's it for book 7. Audible for book 7, Mad Mick. Is that available?
Yeah, all the Mad Mick books up through the last one, book 11, are on Audible.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I do audio for everything.
See, I need to. I'm an old school read books guy, but man, I just trying to make the time to sit down and read a book because I'm either on a podcast or I'm on a telephone call or a conference or I'm doing, you know, social media crap. And it's just like, I'm going to have to start doing the audio thing, it appears.
Well, let me give you a little advice here.
Hit me with it.
Okay. So you're like me, you spend a lot of time outside. You know, you might be chainsawing or you might be in your skid steer or whatever. You get you a nice pair of noise canceling headphones or spouse canceling headphones, whatever you want to call them. So you get you a pair of those and you start your audiobook going. And if you get a phone call, it just pauses your audiobook. You do your phone call, and when you hang up, your book automatically starts back again. So, you know, you've just got that book rolling all day long.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. That is exactly what I need to do. I actually, I need to get the headphone thingies because I got an Audible of a book because I was going on a podcast and I wanted to have the book so I could talk about it. And, I did the whole shirt, you know, phone in the shirt pocket thing with it on speakerphone, and it kept hitting buttons and turning it off. I was like, nah, this is not the way. So I've got to get the fancy headphones now. And, I'm just not cutting edge. I'm just a straight hillbilly as well, Franklin.
Hey, I'm a pretty low tech guy most of the time, but you know, audiobooks and headphones that block out the world are life changing.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. I need that in my life. Where is that? Let's see. It keeps popping up there. Bam. Is the new book available for pre-order? The book 13, is it available for pre-order yet?
No, because the way Audible works, they like to give pre-orders to their big traditionally published authors, but us little peon guys, they don't like to give us that ability. So I don't have the audio up for pre-order, but what I try to do is once I've got that date nailed down that it's going to come out, I sing it to the world so everybody knows.
Oh yeah. Up there on the hill doing the video. Mr. Byron Russell, my man Byron. Y'all, if you have not checked out Graybeard Syndicate and Black Armor Guns, Byron Russell is the man. And I don't just talk him up because he's a cool friend. I got his merchandise. So, yeah, that last Freedom Seed Slinger that I got, what was it, a little over a year ago now, I think, is amazing. Let me just tell you, it's amazing. And Graybeard Syndicate, check them out over there on YouTube. Got some great shows. And Byron, of course, part of the Tactical Rifleman group. And if you are into the realm of wanting to get spun up on drones and counter drones, man, Byron is the man to talk to. get over there. You got a drone, Franklin?
No, I don't, but I had to do a ton of drone research because this new Mad Mick book, there's a lot of drone action in it. So, because that is
there you have it.
That is the way of the future.
I went out and did a class. Well, that's why I did this. I went out and did the tactical rifleman class. What was it? Last month, I think it was. I could only do the 2 days. It was a 4-day class. I did the drone. I didn't get to do the counter drone stuff. But that's, I'm going to catch the next 2 days, later on this year. But I will tell you, number one, I am not the awesome drone pilot I thought I was going to be. Just going to throw that out there. I thought I would be, like in the videos where they're flying through a building and doing flips and all. Nope, not as Byron told me. He said, you look like freshly newborn baby giraffes when you're flying. A baby giraffe was what I was called. So it's not as easy as what it looks. But just like you said, the drone thing is here to stay, and it's going to get more and more utilized. Y'all need to get spun up on that drone stuff.
Oh yeah, I had this friend who took off to Ukraine here a couple of months back and spent a good bit of time over there, embedded with a frontline unit. And when he came back, he was telling me, all the crazy drone things that they were doing, and these little 3D printer setups where they would sit down and print munitions at night and munitions carousels and, outfit all these consumer drones with this stuff and, send it out the next day. And it was, it's a very prepper kind of setup that a lot of those guys are running. It's home, off the shelf, out of the barn and workshop.
Oh yeah. And very effective, very effective. It is scary. It is very scary. We were running some pretty high-end stuff at this class. The capabilities that this stuff has is just insane. And, you start playing with thermal and stuff like that, man, game changer. 100 feet in the air, you couldn't even hear this thing. Like, you don't even know it's there. And it can see, the thermal we were playing with was so good that you could lay on the ground for a few minutes, and when you got up, it would shadow. You could see where you were laying on the ground because it heated up. It was that good of a thermal, that heat signature. So, that was the kind of when we were doing some of the training of, if somebody takes off running and they were sleeping there, well, with that thermal, you can kick that thing on. You can actually pick up where a body was laying there in a sleeping bag or on the ground or anything like that, even though they're not there. And it lasted for quite a few minutes. I did not know that was even a thing.
Yeah, I've used some before that would show the footprints, and that's magic.
Oh, that's game changer. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you're a homesteader or anything like that, man, you need a thermal. If you can afford it, you need night vision and you need a thermal, because you got to have both of those for depending on the what's going on. The thermal, I mean, you can use that daylight or night, and fog, it doesn't matter. That thermal cuts through that fog where the night vision is not going to, but it's pros and cons for both. But here at the homestead, I've got both. We have coyotes all over the place, fox, possums, raccoons, the whole bit. And a lot of times I got to snipe them off the property, or you lose livestock. But yeah, man, that's game changing stuff. And if you don't have it in your life, you need it in your life. Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, here in my neighborhood, that's what I'm reaching for most of the time is, 300 blackout suppressed with a thermal. That's the thing that I keep sitting out most of the time, because that's, you're out in the dark looking for something that's making a weird noise and shouldn't be there.
Oh yeah. No, that's and in this world, who knows where the world is going? It seems to be going downhill faster and faster. Stuff like that. The thermal I've got, it's this big. It's just a little bitty, and you can throw that thing in your pocket and flip it up and just, I mean, right in your front pocket, you could literally carry this thing around. Having that capability, even when you're traveling, I think is well worth the investment. You never know when you're going to need it. So guys and gals, if you don't have thermal and night vision, all that kind of stuff, get spun up on that, as well as the drone stuff, because I did not know how much I needed a drone, and it makes it quick.
Yeah, one thing along that line is anytime anybody asks me about, getting thermal or night vision, I always recommend going to a show like Mountain Readiness where you can actually try out several different brands, because, if you try your buddies, that's one piece of equipment that you're getting to try. But if you go someplace where a vendor has got a whole table of them, and you can come back at night and try them and actually see what works and what each price point gets you, that's the way to buy it.
Absolutely. And we had, man, oh my gosh, what did Brush Beater have there? NC Scout. We had everything from just entry level PVS 14s to $15,000 binos. I mean, we even had a truck all blacked out with IR headlights, and then you could get into the truck with the instructor, our buddy Wes, and go cruise around under night vision and stuff, driving under nods with, completely blacked out. Where else are you going to be able to do that kind of stuff? Right here. Test it, try it before you buy it. And it don't cost you nothing but an event ticket.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff. What do we got over here? Let's see here. 5 minutes till first drawings. Guys, if you have not put in for the drawing tonight, what are we going to draw first? What are we drawing first?
Let's do the feck off hanger.
The feck off hanger right here, the door hanger. Everybody needs that in their life as well. So hashtag freezing. We're going to use it all night long. This is going to be the first one in 3 minutes. So snow and ice and all that. What'd you get there at the homestead?
Well, we got spared. A lot of the worst ice went south of us. A lot of the worst snow went north of us. So we ended up with maybe 3 or 4 inches of snow and not enough ice to be concerned with. It's just cold. But it could have been a lot worse, so I'm not complaining.
Oh yeah, man, it kind of pushed up above us and then split around the mountain range. Here at the house, they had talked anywhere from like 5 to 6 inches of ice, and then another 20 inches of snow is what they were saying we could get. And I was like, I lived up north, but that's just a little excessive even for me. I'm not
well, it makes you watch TV. It makes you, sit there and watch more ads, so the scarier they make it sound, the more money they make off of you.
Oh yeah. Tons and tons. He is in the great state of Virginia is where Mr. Franklin is at.
Yeah, I'm on the end of Virginia that's close to the Tennessee line. I'm probably 30 minutes from Tennessee, an hour from West Virginia, about 45 minutes from Kentucky, and probably 30 minutes from North Carolina. So we're in the very tip where everything comes together.
Yep. That is, and that's gorgeous country. If you have not checked out Franklin's videos, you can see that view he gets to check out. Now, I'm sure he's not out there recording videos as much currently, given the circumstances of the weather.
I started to do one today, but, I changed my mind.
Yeah, I did too. I did that video about tonight. I walked outside. I was like, nope. And I was like, yeah, that'll make a good video. Right back in, sat down by the fire. And I turned around and said, feck off is what I said. So what is, we'll go ahead and do our drawing. Then we'll get into some questions. So let's get spun up. This is for the door hanger. And let me know, Mr. Russ of Oz, when you're ready. Bam, here we go. And hit it. And around and around and around we go. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Who's going to get this thing? Who's going to get it? Oh, look at this. The winner, Mr. Pete Robertucci. That shouldn't even count. Like Pete is always winning stuff. I don't know.
Pete will absolutely
right.
use that too. I can see it on
He
the
will
door
use
of his
it.
RV.
That's it. Mountain readiness. You're going to see that thing hanging there right outside the
Yep,
door.
absolutely.
Congratulations, Mr. Pete Robertucci. You are the winner of the door hanger. We'll do another one at 45 minutes in. So, y'all, Will Gomez, Will says, seriously? We got to, well, let's just see a couple of these comments. There you go. Yep. There was a congrats. Come on, man. Will said, seriously. Yeah. That's, K Love, she said congrats. Look at that. She said congrats. Rigged. That's great. It wasn't rigged. Guys. The little computer thingy, he demands a recount. That little computer thingy majiggy, it does all the stuff. We don't have anything to do with that. So keep on, throw them up there again. Do they need to throw them up there again, Russ? Or do they? Yeah, go ahead and throw them up there again. You want a second chance? Put that hashtag freezing. We're going to do it again. So go ahead and throw them up there again, and we're going to go. What are we doing the second time around, Franklin?
Let's do the Locker 9 hat.
Locker 9 hat. We got the baseball cat coming. Yes. I love me some hats. What do we have up there in the star? Franklin, how many hours of research do you do roughly for each book?
Yeah, that's interesting because when I write a borrowed world book, those come straight out of my head, because I know those characters really well. And I don't hardly have to do any research at all for those. They just pour out. When I write a Mad Mick book, it takes like a month longer because there's easily 80 hours of research in a Mad Mick book. And I know that I'm not writing, super complex, super complicated battle scenes and technology and all this, but it's little tiny stuff. In this last one, what kind of car did the rich in China drive? What kind of limousine does the president of China drive? What kind of helicopters are they using? And what is their system for, transporting the president by helicopter somewhere, in China? And, where are their rare earth facilities and how are they guarded and how do those rare earth processing facilities work? And if you wanted to enter those areas from another country, what would that country be and how would you get in there and who would help you do that? So just tons and tons of little things. And that may only end up in one sentence, but still it adds authenticity because there's going to be that one guy out there who's like, he used the right helicopter. That's right. So it's worth it to do all that research, but it takes time.
Man, that sounds a lot. What did you have in the drone research?
Well, I won't give away the scene, but there is a critical scene. Well, there are actually two big ones where they use. And the Mad Mick is a meat and potatoes guy. He is used to stabbing, shooting, bludgeoning, and taking people out the old-fashioned way. So he's not really a drone guy, but he has accepted that there are certain situations where, an environment may be too secure for him to just go in and start, raising hell and doing violence. So the drone is the logical thing, but he's like this takes all the adventure out of it, but still, he accepts that there are times when it's best to use the technology. So, So he said,
you got?
He's had to adapt.
20 hours, 30 hours. What'd you spend on just drone research for this book?
Drones, probably 8 or 10 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Just checking out drones. That's awesome.
Yeah. Because I know what we use in the West, but my drone environments were in China. So the things I had to look up were like, what would your consumer off the shelf drone be in China? What drones could people get? And what are the payloads of those drones? And, what distance can you continue to operate it from? And how what type of anti-drone technology is the Chinese president's Harbin Z-8 helicopter equipped with, and how does that work? Is it a constant drone jamming signal that blankets the city when he's in the air, or is it a targeted signal that they use in response to seeing or picking up a drone? So, those were all things I had to look up just so I knew what I was talking about.
Now that's great. I love that, you put that much time into it to give it that realism and, well, not only just realism, realistic application in the books. The group that we all have here, Chris and you guys always throw all that real life stuff in there that we can learn from. I think that's awesome. I'll tell you, drones, there was a lot I learned about drones at that class. Flying the big drones, because the little ones, they can get up in the air for quite some time, but we were running some analog drones, completely off to, they're not like the digital. You can't track these things. You can jam them, but you can't hack them. But you throw a thermal on there, you can get about a half hour of flight out of that drone. And this particular drone, it can fly in up to 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That's like insane. 40-mile-an-hour wind. This thing will still maintain. But you throw a thermal on this thing, you cut it in half. 10 to 15 minutes of flight, that's it. And it sounds like you got some time, but if you suck and you're not that good at flying, it's over in a blink. Have you done any drone flying, Franklin? Have you played with them at all?
No. I'm not coordinated enough because I was never a video game guy, so I don't have like that whole hand-eye coordination thing going. So I would just destroy somebody's equipment.
Nope. You're gonna come fly drones with me. That's what's
cool.
gonna happen,
I'll do
Franklin.
But
I am the same way. I did not do the video game thing either. Like Atari. I played Atari a couple times as a child. That was it. And then my kids, when PlayStation come out, they're like, Dad, play Sonic the Hedgehog. Man, I threw that controller across the room in about 2.3 seconds. It upset me. That was the last time I touched a video game, was Sonic the Hedgehog for about 5 minutes. And that was it. Trashed it. So, but the drones, they all fly the same. And I learned, if you take your time, man, you can do it. And especially with you writing about drones, we've got to get you spun up on the actual hands-on side of this. We're going to do this at Mountain Readiness.
Cool.
Do this at Mountain Readiness, Franklin. Put it on.
I see one question right here that I definitely want to answer, which is this guy, Don Hartman here, asking what happened with the old family refurbishing mine equipment up the road from the Mad Mick. And, this is funny because I throw out a lot of characters in these books, and I think, man, this is a cool little thread of the story, and one day I'm going to come back to this. But then a lot of times what happens is 6 months later, when I come back to the Mad Mick and it's time for the next book, I've got this new idea that's burning a hole in my head, and I'm like, yeah, forget about those people. I've got this other idea now that's even cooler. So I've got all these people out there that are abandoned along the way because I've introduced them and I planned on going back to them, but it just never happened. And it could still happen because, the Locker 9 series, there was a character, Brandon, that a lot of people have asked about. He was based on a friend of mine. And at the very end of the last Locker 9 book, Brandon sets off down the Appalachian Trail, and we never know what happened to him. Well, I'm working on the second book now in my Defeated Creek series, which is the book that the series that the book Willie was in. So this is the second book in that series, and it picks up with Brandon's story. So we're going to find out. He's going to walk out of one series and into another. So
awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate that good question, Don. Also, congratulations, sir, on that next little one that has joined you and the family. Congrats. Glad that everybody is good and healthy. And then in other words, Franklin said that your ideas don't mean crap, and it's never going to get used in a book. You're welcome. maybe it will. Maybe it will. Just in the future. Hey, it's cool though. You get all this stockpile of ideas to pick through as well.
Well, and that goes to another question here, which is from Will. Where did you find the inspiration for Rageous in the Mad Mix series? And like that family in that last question that refurbished the old mining equipment, I have collected thousands of stories over my life, and I actually wrote them down because, man, these notebooks that I've got, and it's hundreds of them, I've got all the dirt about everybody. If I grew up with you and you did something stupid, I've got it written down somewhere.
It's in that book.
It is in that whole stack of notebooks. But I used to work in school systems in this county not too far from here, and I met a kid named Rageous. And I asked him about his name because I'd never heard it before. And I'm like, that's an interesting name. Where'd it come from? And he didn't want to tell me. So finally, he told me after a while. He said, my mother named me Rageous because it's sugar backwards. And he didn't want to tell anybody because he's like, yeah, that's people laugh when they find out. But yeah. I hung on to that name because I thought it was so cool. I would have to use it in a book. And he would always... And like in the book, the character never wants to tell anybody where the name came from because he's always been embarrassed by that.
That's awesome. That's a cool story. It's yeah. Remind me never to drink too much around you and give too many stories out there. Got to keep that on the lowdown.
Hey, I've got a stack that's right here beside my desk of these notebooks, and if I need an interesting backstory for a character, I'll just start digging around and I'll pick through there and I'm like, oh yeah, this guy from 1983. I'll throw this under that character.
Franklin Hoover, like the FBI. You got dirt on everybody.
Yeah, man. That's how it works.
What else do we have here in the star? Let's see here. Mr. Patrick 7. Franklin Horton, you mentioned in the past that you jot down in notebooks how many random notebook stacks. I think you just went through this. It sounds like J. Edgar Hoover pile stacks is what it sounds like.
Well, the way this started was I got my first typewriter in 1981. So I was wanting to write. And I wanted to learn to write. So I was like, okay, I got to write a page or two every day just to kind of learn how to type and learn how to do this. So if I didn't have anything else to write about, I would pick a story that I knew about somebody and I would type it. So I've got hundreds of type pages, and then I've probably got 20 or 30 notebooks. And then I've got binders full of like loose pages. And then if we went to school together and you did something stupid, I made a notation in the yearbook beside your picture. So, I've got all these sources of information that I go to when I need, a good story on a character.
That's awesome. And there's a lot, Mike's daddy said, I'm glad I didn't grow up with Franklin because I did stupid shit. I did a lot of stupid shit. So yeah, I can't be, yeah. It's
yeah, you guys aren't alone.
The right type.
There was a lot of that going around, so I had some good notes on people.
Plenty of notes. Mr. John, what's going on, Mr. John Galloway? What's Jim's body count, he says?
That's a good question. I don't know, but one of my friends jokes me that the last Borrowed World book will be called Jim Powell Kills Everybody because, he goes through phases where he's really violent, and then he struggles to cope with the lesson that is imparting on his family and his kids and his community. So he tries to not be violent, and then it always backfires on him. And by trying to choke down that and be the nice guy, people start taking advantage of his community. So he's about settled now that, the way this has to work is that if you are going to maintain a community in a lawless environment, there are people that have to die because you cannot leave them around to come back another time.
Extreme violence. He chose violence. That's Jim chooses violence.
He does choose violence. And as weird as it sounds, that was advice my grandfather gave me when I was in elementary school, which is you never leave somebody alive to come back and get you later. And, there was a reason that my mom tried to limit trips to grandpa's house because the advice that grandpa gave was not the same thing you were learning in school. But grandpa's advice was things like, yeah, if you shoot somebody, you kill them. You don't want them coming back later.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah,
I go home and I make notes.
Go to court.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a fact. That's a fact, man. I like this Jim guy. This guy is spot on. That's a man after my own heart. You know, you've seen the movies. Don't never leave that dude alive. Don't leave him alive. You can't do that. Every movie, they leave him alive or they hesitate. You know, let's stand here and talk about it before we. Nah, you can't stand there and talk about it and you don't leave him alive. That's just the way it goes. What else we got for some? Let's see. Mr. Will says, Barb has become quite the character in the Mad Mick. How do you picture her and how do you write her so well?
Well, she is a strong character, and part of that is because we've talked about this in the book some, but the Mad Mick, he wrestles with this thing that he was a single dad, and he raised her to be really tough, and he wanted her to be ready for the things that he dealt with in his violent world. So he wanted her to be a skilled shooter. He wanted her to know combatives. He wanted her to be just this badass girl. But one of the things he neglected was she didn't have a lot of social skills, and she struggles to deal with people because that was one thing that he neglected. And, I've known a lot of rough people in my life who were that kind of way that, they could handle certain kinds of situations. They could handle hands-on situations, but when it came to like more subtle situations that had like emotions and you had to be polite and all that, they struggled with that stuff. So, a lot of my characters are either inspired by real people or by real situations that I've known. And that's like when I'm writing a character like Barb, that's what I'm picturing is those people that I've known who were similar to her.
Nice. Well, we are at 46 minutes in, so we need to draw. Take that dude out. Take that guy completely out of the mix. This is for the hat, y'all. This is for the hat. And around we go. Where we stop, Ryan Conklin. Ryan, you are the winner. You are the winner of the Mad Mick hat. Congratulations, sir.
Yeah, and I'm hoping Russ can get me these addresses. And
yeah. So look here, guys and gals, if you win one of these three things, you need to send an email to Russ. Do you want to throw yours up there for them to send their info to? Yep. He's going to put it in the comments right here so that you know where to send. Yep, Bobby, so close, yet so far away. It's like horseshoes and hand grenades. What else we got? We've got some... What... Did you even prep or prepare for anything of the storm? Like, are you just at the point now that it's just on autopilot?
Well, the hurricane, when we went through Hurricane Helene, that was enough of a training ground that, right now, anything else that comes up, I'm like, I got that straightened out after Helene. So unless it's going to be something epic that we know is going to last, 2 weeks or 3 weeks with no power, I feel like I'm pretty well covered because that was 11 days and it wasn't a huge struggle. I had all the stuff I needed for that. So that I'm hoping that I don't experience another outage like that. As long as they stay easier than that, I'm good.
Yeah, a week is rough. 3 weeks, now you're starting to get into the extra rough area. That's what separates the men from the boys right there. That really starts putting the strain on your stockpile too, whether it be food, whether it be fuel especially. I mean, you can only keep a hold of so much fuel. And I know people that have 500-gallon tanks. I know my generator I've got is a tri-fuel. So gasoline, I've got that. If I run out of that, I've got small propane tanks. If I run out of that, I've got the big 500-pound propane tank that's out in the front yard. So, I could sustain just off of a generator for quite some time. and then wood burning stove and things like that. But is there any prep that you're working on that that you can talk about that is just not come to fruition yet? But what's the next? Are you done? Do you have everything you need? I mean, prepping in general, that's never the case.
Well, I really wrestle with this thing of wanting to do a permanent solar installation, but I've not done that. For one thing, because I'm cheap and I don't want to spend the money. But then the other is I've got like small solar systems. And the thing I've always thought about is flexibility. Like, what if I end up leaving here? So, I could load up in my camper and have my solar set up that would run my camper and all that. So I've wrestled with whether I really want to go to the extent of installing like, a permanent solar array outside and doing that. So, that would probably be the next step, would be putting everything here on solar as a backup.
Yeah. I really want solar, but I've done a bunch of studying too on the EMF stuff, and solar, they say, is considered, basically dirty electricity, and it even ups the EMF exposure that you have. And I guess it can cause you a lot of health problems. So you want to keep like your solar field and all your batteries and all that kind of stuff away from the home as much as possible, like separate from it, because that EMF will just smoke you, I guess, for, I mean, anytime you got signals pulsing through your body, just like, cell phones and, now I guess 6G is what they're saying that we've got, is what Trump said, I heard. So, yeah, I would love to do that. But this year I'm working on, I think I really want to get into a root cellar. You got a root cellar?
No, but I live on steep property. So, if you live on steep property, it's the perfect place for it.
It's pretty easy. Dig into the hillside, bam, root cellar, just like that. So that's my next venture, I think, is going to try to do a root cellar thing this year. It's just so, I mean, when you're talking about potatoes and fruit, the fruits and vegetables thing, like a lot of that stuff, just the humidity from the ground and the coolness of the ground. I mean, you can take something that's got a shelf life of sitting in the house for, a couple weeks to up to 6 months, just by putting it in a root cellar. So I'm like, man, I like to have fresh fruits and vegetables throughout the winter as well. So why not? That's kind of my next goal this year, is the root cellar thing. Guys, let's see here. Like at 3 minutes till, like right before the show's over, we'll do the last drawing, and make sure to hashtag freezing if you hadn't, to get into this last one. You got your third and final chance to win something here. And this is the sign. This is the new sign for the man cave right here.
Yeah.
We'll be drawing there. No one is coming to save you. That's a fact. That's a fact right there. What's your thoughts on gold and silver, man? The world's going crazy, and silver has just went insane here lately. They're talking about gold hitting all the way upwards of 5,000 here in the near future an ounce. Copper is in shortage now. What's your thoughts on that? Worth it? Are you an advocate of it?
Well, what's funny is most of my life I've been so broke that I never invested in precious metals. To me, precious metal is like a piece of copper wire. So, from my construction background, I never throw away aluminum and copper. I've just collected it in barrels over the years. And then every once in a while I say, I'd like to use this for something. So I haul it all off and sell it. So I firmly believe in those kind of metals, the best ones that you can afford to get. So for me, it was always, like I said, whatever copper and brass and aluminum I came up with. But, who knows? The world is so crazy right now, and the things that are happening every day. I just get up every day and it's like a circus. I'm just waiting to see, what new monkey's rolling out.
Yeah, I tell you, I've got some silver that I paid $5 an ounce for. That's how long I've been playing in the silver business. And that's a good bit back there. I used to go through all the change and pull the silver quarters out, which a silver quarter or a dime now, yeah, good luck finding that in your spare change. I haven't seen, I think the last silver dime, I found old silver Mercury dime 2 years ago. And that was probably some kid that got into, mom and dad's private collection to go buy a pack of cigarettes or something with spare change. So, but I don't know, man. It's looking pretty good. I'm glad I bought a little bit of silver, but I tell you, the copper wire thing, what was it? 10 years ago, I was like, I'm going to be working on this junky house of mine for a long time. I'm going to go ahead and buy I think I bought 4 spools, 4,000 foot spools of the 10-2 and the 12-2, standard wiring. And sure enough, boy, I'm glad I bought that, because I got a spool of that 10-2 wiring for what did I pay? I think it was like $300 or something. Yeah, go see what that thing costs now. $250 for the big 1,000 foot spools, and now I think they're $600 or something like that a spool.
That's why it's all locked in a cage at Lowe's. You can't even touch wire anymore.
I haven't had to buy wire until just the other day. I went to Lowe's to make me a short extension cord, because I wired up my generator. I can just plug it into the side of the house and run it through my breaker box. And it was some 6.2 or some 6.3 heavy wire. Man, 25 feet was $200. $200 for a 25-foot piece of wire. And I forgot how expensive wiring was, because it's just been that long since I bought electrical wiring. But that was, I had a stroke, picked myself up off the floor, went and paid for it, and got the job done. But,
and you probably needed a law enforcement escort from the door to your vehicle so nobody stole it.
Nobody beat me over the head and took it. No, you're right. It was crazy. Let's see here. Bobby Hawkins said his next smokehouse. Yes, smokehouse is a great investment by far. What else we have here? Who we got here? Jim's Family Town. It's grown at this point. Wouldn't it grab attention, or has it been written off as fallen territory?
In this next Mad Mick book, we're going to see a lot of information about the United States from a different perspective. And that's what that's how those series have worked together a lot. So I think a lot of questions will be answered in this next Mad Mick, and it's going to set up for when the next Borrowed World comes out. We'll see things very differently.
Awesome.
Was that cryptic enough?
That cryptic. There you go. Let's see here. Man, make 1,000 years from now, dig up your homestead and find all those notebooks and yearbooks. Yeah, she's saying, I think she's talking about your collection there. That would be interesting.
They will be confused.
I'd be like, what in the world is this guy collecting all these years? That would be interesting to see. You should, it'll come up on the Antique Roadshow or something sometime. There'll be this whole stack of books somebody will walk in there with, and it will be your legacy there that you've been collecting. So, man, the hour flew by. I had all kinds of questions, and it's just gone.
They always do, man. It's like when we hang out in real life.
It is. Yeah, May. Well, and remember, fall was not a good time, and it was busy and all that. So you're coming back in May, and we still are supposed to be kicking back next to a campfire, sipping a little scotch or something, I think is what we talked about doing.
Absolutely. I'm down for that.
Yes, we've got a couple good bands. We're going to have a band Friday night, Mr. Anthony Bonnet. And Saturday night, we're going to have the Clicker Licker Band back again. So we got bands both night. We got raffles. And guys, speaking of raffles, Franklin and I have been working on a project to do here. We're not going to say what it is yet, but that has begun. It is starting to come to fruition. I'm putting that together as we speak. And so we're not going to say what it is, but I'm going to tell you, It's going to blow your mind, guys. This thing is off the hook. It's going to be awesome. And, Franklin, he did the Tomahawk last year. We're going to outdo it this year. This thing is going to be sick, and you're not going to want to miss it. What did Tom have to say? What's going on, Tom? Will Franklin be at Mountain Readiness in May? Yes.
Absolutely.
That is the plan.
Looking forward to hanging out again, Tom.
I'm trying to get him to hang out in Montana, but he says that's just too far of a drive.
Yeah.
So, am I going to sing? I don't know. It depends on how many drinks that Franklin and I have. It's possible. You never can tell. That could actually happen. And he'll if that's an understatement. Like Tom, when he says he'll have some bourbon there, man, he ain't joking. Like that you ain't gonna run out. If you run out, somebody's got a serious problem. The first step is admitting that you have a problem.
Yeah, I think I still have video of you singing Bon Jovi.
Man, that was a trip. That band was insane. I laughed so hard. I like some of the old hair band stuff. I'm not going to lie, but that band, that dude that was singing, the lead singer, man, I got to give it to him. He was singing to a crowd of 1 million people. Like that's what he saw in front of him. I mean, he was jumping off the stage. I had a blast just watching them dudes. One of these days, I'm just going to bring them back just for the shits and giggles, to be completely honest. So, but yeah, we've got, of course, Anthony Bonnet does a slam up job singing. The Clicker Liquor Band, they were awesome. So we've got a really good lineup this coming May. A bunch of new instructors. Oh, we've got Kevin Estella. Kevin Estella is coming, doing a fire class and book signing, I think, on Saturday. I've got to check and see what day he's going to come, but which is pretty cool. American Contingency, he did all that. He was the guy who did a bunch of the survival stuff for them. What do you want to leave everybody with? We're an hour in.
Well,
yeah.
If you want to check out my books, come to franklinhorton.com. Resetroadhouse.com is the merch store. And
let's do that.
Yeah.
There we go. So Reset Roadhouse, guys, scan that if you need it. And then right there for the new book, which you said March.
Yeah.
March is going to be ready. Let's do this giveaway, this drawing. And remember, you guys, let's throw that up there, the address. Once we get the pick the drawing here, this is for the sign. Who gets the sign today? Who gets the sign? Who we got here? Papa's Pantry. Papa's Pantry. You are the winner of the sign. Congratulations. And Russ, throw that up there. Winners right there. Russ at Broken Spokes Production. Send Russ your address and your name, and we will get that merchandise out to your doorstep. It's been a pleasure, Franklin. Always too fast. Always flies by.
Oh, yeah. It's good hanging out with you. It always is.
Absolutely. Love it. Love it. Well, guys, that is an hour. I'm going to go out here and sit down and stare at this computer some more doing social media post garbage. But make sure to tune in next week and make sure to follow this gentleman right here on all of his socials and keep an eye out because we're going to do this thing. We're going to get together here soon. It's going to be a great video. You guys are going to love it. I am super stoked about it. We've been collaborating on this for a little bit. But Franklin, appreciate you, brother. Have a good evening.
Thank you, man. Appreciate being here.
Sounds good. You guys, you know the routine. Stay ready. Stay safe. We'll see you next Monday.